Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Scary But True Hunting Stories. Today's show is a doozy. Vladimir Ivanovic. He is a hunter who went missing in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. He is from Chicago, and this happened on November 13th at the Cedar River North State Forest Campground. The campground is located in the Escanaba River State Forest between Escanaba and Menominee, roughly 17 miles northeast of the city of Stevenson. According to Vladimir's family, he had been deer hunting in the area for over 14 years and has always used the same camping spot. So he was definitely aware of the area, aware of the nature there, aware of everything around him in this scenario. So at the campground, his brother and another relative arrived at the campground around 3 p.m. Eastern time on November 13th. And after setting up camp, Vladimir left his tent in a light black thermal jacket, gray thermal pants, and Crocs shoes around 11 p.m. Eastern time. The two relatives assumed he was making a quick trip to the cooler outside of his tent or his truck parked just feet away. After 15 minutes and no return, his brother and other relative began searching for him. A family camping close by said they saw him walking up the road leading away from the nearby Cedar River, potentially headed to the campground outhouses or a campground pay station. The family said he only had his wallet, keys, and a headlamp. Where did he go? Like, this is an open missing case. So we have to do our due diligence to try to help find this man, this hunter. And where could he have went? I mean, it seems very strange that you would take a walk to go to maybe an outhouse but never come back. And at the same time, I mean, is there a lot of crime in the UP? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's crime, but like it seems a little strange to me that unless it's family oriented crime, where would this man go? You know, I mean, even if someone was to rob him or something, would they really go through the effort to make him disappear? It just seems almost like it's either one of two things. Either he chose to go a different path, which might not make much sense because it sounds like he has a loving family and a lot of family. But I don't know, is there stresses in his life besides this? Or two, there was some sort of conflict between him and a family member, right? There's only those two real options. The third would be an outsider, which, you know, to be robbed or something would make a little bit of sense, but like he didn't have anything to take. So let's watch this quick news clip. This kind of gets a lot more detail about what happened, and then let's talk about it.
It has been more than 4 weeks since the Menominee County Sheriff's Office urged the public to be on the lookout for a missing hunter. In 15 minutes, what started as a fun weekend of deer hunting turned into a desperate search for Vladimir Ivanovic. Recently, scent dogs and kayakers continued the search for the 58-year-old carpenter and father near the campground where he was last seen. After setting up deer camp with 2 members of his family, Vladimir Ivanovic from Chicago headed towards the pay station and outhouses at the Cedar River North State Forest Campground. That was the last time he was seen. After 15 minutes of frantic search by family members for the 58-year-old man who was in a black thermal jacket, gray thermal pants, and Crocs, who only had his wallet, keys, and a headlamp, was underway. The Menominee County Sheriff's Department was called to do a grid search and check the riverbank using scent dogs, horses, drones, and a helicopter. Vladimir has been hunting in the Upper Peninsula for over 30 years and was at this particular campsite for the last 14. Authorities believe he may have gotten lost and fallen into the shallow river, but the family says the meticulous carpenter is cautious of rivers. Vladimir is an avid fisherman and hunter who is very experienced in being outdoors and lovingly called the Camp Father for how he would always enforce safety precautions with those around him. Although the area he went missing in does not see much crime, his daughter is worried that this may be a crime and not an accident.
Maybe somebody saw, he had Illinois plates, nice trucks were coming up there, maybe just to mug him. He was going to the pay station, most likely with his wallet. COVID left a lot of people without a job. Maybe there has been a spike in crime. There were 2 other missing people, within a week. I think only 20 miles, so someone went missing in Iron Mountain, and then another camper went missing in, Marinette, only 20 miles from the campsite, so there is some strange activity.
Vladimir's Crocs were found 3 days later in an area that was already heavily searched, and were found next to each other, which is very unlikely that they floated together through all the log jams. Tests with other Crocs found that they would not float together in this way. The family thinks they could have also been disposed to throw off the search. The area the shoes were found was south of the campsite, but a Croc shoe print on freshly fallen snow was found north of the campsite, which is where canines have also found a scent trail for Vladimir. The Menominee County Sheriff, Kenny Marks, is hoping the local community can help keep an eye on the river and area near the campground for a body or clothing in the river or near the shore. The family is offering up to $25,000 to find any signs of Vladimir, his belongings, or to pay a ransom so they could see the man who paved the way for the family to be strong.
He has 12 godchildren, which is, in our culture, a really big deal because nobody has more than like 2 or 3. He has 12. Just, yeah, loves life. Had a lot of plans. Going forward.
Vladimir Ivanovic is 5'11", 195 pounds, with green eyes and gray hair. Vasilica added that campers, hikers, and hunters should be abundantly cautious as they head outdoors, because any possible suspect knew to come out at night and during hunting season, when people will tend to have more cash and winter gear that tends to be more expensive.
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of information in there, and this is still an open case, and it's obviously, if anybody's up in that region and looks around or can help or identify this man, that would be obviously very helpful, and please do so. We'll put the information below to contact. But I want to say that some of these things that in here seem a little bit interesting. The Crocs, right? Crocs definitely, if they're floating, we're not going to be in the same position. That's just not going to happen. So if they searched the area, they didn't see anything the first time. The second time it was searched, they found a pair of Crocs sitting next to each other. Now they say that those weren't there before, but you could miss that. I mean, everybody knows who's outdoorsman that the when you're walking through the woods, it's hard to see anything, honestly. I mean, it's so thick in some cases, big. So it wouldn't surprise me if they missed the Crocs the first time. The other thing is the dogs keyed on fresh Croc prints when they smelled him. So that tells you that he was there, and if there's only one set of prints, it was his prints. The other thing is being with Crocs in the woods doesn't obviously make any sense. So it leaves me to the position to believe that he snapped, decided to walk away. Something obviously happened, in my opinion, in that sense that he would walk away with Crocs and nothing else but what he had on. Now, could have something bad happened to him with other people? I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't see like hunters being a big target because we have weapons. So I just don't see that as necessarily the biggest target. I'm not saying it's not possible, but they would have had to have taken him when he was walking into a vehicle and then move him out of that area. But then to have the Crocs show up is just a little bit strange as well. So I don't know, guys. This one's an open investigation still. So hopefully someone out there can help shed light on it. Hopefully they find something soon and can report back. And hopefully it's something positive, obviously. But the odds are it's been over 2 months. So if he was out in that bush for 2 months, the odds are there's no way he survived that long. Not that it's not possible, but it just seems like it with you know what, it probably definitely not possible with Crocs and no shoes now and no gear at all. So we hope everything works out for their family, and it's too bad this happened, but I think we need to be aware of our surroundings in the woods. One of the reasons I wanted to show this one is just because there are active cases, and we all need to be vigilant of what's going on in the woods. You need to look around all the time, when you're walking, because you could stumble upon something drastic, or you could help break a case open that's been cold or save somebody.
To assist the family in search efforts, contact Ivanovic's daughter at 708-595-9308. To report tips or information on the disappearance of Vladimir Ivanovic, call the Menominee County Sheriff's Office at 906-863-4441.
But let's try to help this hunter get back to his family if it's possible still. And, if not, let's at least try to get recovery and help as well. So just want to make sure people are aware of the story and what's going on. Again, need to know what's going on in our surroundings and what's going on in our woods. So, all right, we'll see you next time on the Scary Stories episodes.